And it is wet outside. It is a wet one. And we are here. We are there. And we are everywhere. So good morning. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. No, how y'all doing? Quick check-in.
Good morning. I'm doing... Oh, here's my microphone. Hi. Good morning. I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. The rain definitely aided my sleep last evening. I slept like a baby child, snuggled in a blanket of fluff and love last night.
Wow.
And fluff and love. Oh, I slept good last night.
A fluffy love.
Yes. I went to bed early. I went to bed like around 11:30. I got up promptly at 5:31 and forced myself to go back to sleep at 6 o'clock for a little bit. But it was a good sleep. And I feel good. My allergies aren't bad today. That's the allergy report. And last night was a good evening. My sister and I went on a historical walk of the Dorchester neighborhood in which we
sure did.
grew up. We learned so many things about our neighborhood that we did not know or notice before.
Yes,
Yeah.
we sure did. We read all the signs, all the placards.
We saw statues that we've never seen before.
Graveyards that we didn't know why were there.
We didn't know were there.
We saw frogs and shoes.
Yes.
And red passages.
The first home in Dorchester. All kinds of things we saw. And it was
Was it the oldest home in America? No, in Massachusetts.
Yes. It's a little house right there off in Edward Everett Square. Yeah. And we learned who Edward Everett was.
We sure did.
He did so many things.
And who's that?
Edward Everett. He was a senator. He was a congressman. He was a mayor. He was
all of
governor. He was everything.
And he helped to liberate the people
and do things. And that was nice. We learned about, who else did we learn about? Who the black man was?
Yes,
former
Timothy
educator
School.
and former United States Secretary. Edward Everett?
Yes, he was that. He was those things.
United States Secretary.
Yes, and there's a statue of him there that I never seen before. It is a big statue of him standing up.
Why I can't remember the man's name?
I don't know, but we know it. It's a black man.
Let me look at my screen.
Trotter.
Yes, William Trotter.
So we learned about who William Trotter was.
Oh yeah, the charter school.
Yes, the charter school, and how he was like, nah, I'm not looking for no peaceful nothing. We gonna protest up in here and it's gonna be crazy. So that's what we learned about William Trotter. We learned there's some dedications to the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute right there. You know the big pier over there by
Pear Square.
I don't know if it's called that. I don't think so.
That's why it's a pear.
No.
Pear Square.
Okay.
Pear.
That's not what we learned yesterday. But okay.
Pear Square.
It's Edward Everett's Square.
Yes.
With the pear in it. The pear is a kind, because there was lots of agriculture in that area back in the 18 somethings or whatever. So there was they used to grow some kind of pears and strawberries and apples and all kinds of things used to grow in that area. It was very, very like lots of agriculture in that area. And then all the little small things that are around the pear. So there's, like the shoes and all of that, the telephone and all that Sauce was talking about. Each of them has, some little write-up about what's going on there.
What I'm concluding, I think I deduced, is that they had one quote from back in the day and one quote from a little bit earlier, I guess, maybe.
Sense. Yeah.
Because I couldn't really understand the synchronization of the thing. So, like, I don't... Yeah,
but it was good, and it was a nice walk. I did almost made my 10,000 steps yesterday.
Oh, really? Good.
Blessed be. So that was good, and then I went home and watched, caught up on my Raising Canaan, which is getting good, and that was that. That was my evening. Oh, and my sister made us a fantastic spaghetti dinner.
Fantastic.
She made a spaghetti sauce that would rival your mother.
That will rival your mother.
Wow. Chef's kiss.
Oh, wow. I like that.
That was my evening.
It was a good dinner. What about you, Roxtown?
I chilled yesterday, man. I just chilled, did a little bit of work, but mostly chilled, and feel like I'll be doing that again today.
Yeah,
Today seems like a chill day because it's so rainy and kind of, But I think it's supposed to stop, and we'll get into the weather report in a little bit, but I think it's supposed to get a tad bit better. So we'll see about that. Anyhow. Oh, me, yes. I did the same thing. I walked around with my sister, which was really fun because I did have, we walk Me and the dog walk all the time, so it's always good to have good company, you know. So that was really fun, and I'm gonna do more walking around that way as well. It was a good route.
Yeah, because I feel like there's more history to be learned
Yes.
around, and that also makes the walk nice. We stopped and read. I think Sauce took a video of us reading. We sounded like we were reading for one of the
PBS that has
or
now
something like
been
that.
dismantled.
Oh,
you know,
Has it been? They did.
I think it's in a thing that they're losing their funding or something like that, or they're trying to get rid of the PBS because PBS teaches children about diversity and how to be nice to each other and how to share, things as such.
Yeah. There's a whole website for Pier Square.
Pier Square. I want to go to Pier Square.
PierSquare.org, and you can find old Boston history.
I'm gonna find some more history so we can do more walking around.
Yeah.
William Trotter, all kind of. That's actually sounds like what you guys did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was a thing you can scan to do the walking tour, but the website wasn't working because we did scan it. Then they wanted to just do all this other stuff. And we were like, nah, we ain't doing all that. We just gonna read the signs. But it was cool. So
what y'all do that with? Did y'all do that with the guy?
No, we just went by ourselves. Yeah.
We just happened to be walking by and we were like, oh, what's this little cottage here? And once we read that sign, it just kind of trickle down into everything else that we saw over there. Is a dedication to mothers, a statue up there that's like a dedication to the mothers and all kinds of stuff. And we were like, wow, I've never noticed any of this stuff before right here in our neighborhood. So it was cool.
Very cool. But anyways, people, we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Today, like we said yesterday, we'll be talking to the ladies from Coils to Locks. This is for people who have suffered from hair loss due to cancer or alopecia or any other autoimmune disease that might be attacking your hair follicles. There is help and resources out there for you. You can get your wig paid for medically from your insurance, and we'll tell you all about that later on in the day. But with that said, let's get this show on the road. Let's get ready to rumble.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387. Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Radio. New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
I hope you guys know, like the pantomiming that I was doing just now.
That was really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So let's get into the show. Today is May the 15th. It is Thursday, May the 15th. Mike Nice says it is. Tristan, give me back what Mike Nice, what kind of day is it? Mike Nice says, think about it Thursday. And today, Mike Nice, we going to be thinking about it. Think about it Thursday.
Put your thinking caps
Because
on
you know
today.
what? This is a thinking day because Tory Lanez is back in the news, so we've got to get into that, and we've got to use our brains here to decipher what is going on. You know, Cassie case is going on. We got to use our brains here to decipher. DDG and Haley Bailey, they still going on.
Yeah.
You the Little Mermaid, Tristan, the black ass Little Mermaid.
I don't know who the guy is.
Nobody knows who DDG is. Nobody knows.
They only know that he's the baby daddy.
He's the Little
For the
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And
And
even though she's a phenomenal singer, nobody knows her for anything besides being the Little Mermaid.
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And she's
That is very
she's
true.
a sister.
She's a sister of Chloe Bailey.
Chloe is Burna Boy's girlfriend.
Yes.
I ain't seen them on each other
They were
lately.
they just now sent a little what is it called? What is it called?
Don't forget us.
Proof of life.
Oh, proof of life.
Yes,
Okay.
the other day.
Because I saw her and Haley on vacation the other day. This is the first time that they were able to take vacation in a long time together. Some foolishness. But, okay. All right.
So yes, that is what is going on. So again, sorry, today is May 15th. It is Thursday, May 15th. We got a lot to talk about. The weather right now, as you can see, I think
It
it's
is rain.
I think it might have stopped. So, oh no, it is going to be rain for the next hour. It's currently 62 degrees. It's going to reach up to about 71 degrees later tonight, and tonight is going to be down to a 60. So we'll get about 70s around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. The rain, once it stops, it's not expected to come back for the rest of the day, so we should see some sunshine. Rain and rain, sunshine and pain. Hip it up, hip it up.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Joy and rain.
Thank you. Oh, that's what it is.
Yes.
Rain and pain. So that's what we're going to get into today. So keep it locked into Spark FM Online, and let's start this show.
Yeah.
We just did that.
It's time for the
Around the way news.
Around the Way news with Miss Tony.
You did the weather?
I did.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hi.
As Trump continues his attack on Harvard University, which he was not able to get to and therefore has a vendetta because he is stupid. Harvard president is going to take a 25% pay cut as the university says it's blacklisted from getting federal funding. As the Trump administration halts about $2.7 billion in Harvard University funding, the school's president is absorbing some of the financial impacts by taking a 25% pay cut.
How much is he making to take the 25% pay cut to help out the $2.5 billion loss?
The thing is, this is what I'm thinking, right?
He makes almost $1 million a year.
He makes almost $1 million a year, right? But if he's the Harvard president, they probably provide him some place to live and stuff too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
So like that's an expense that that he doesn't have, so he could probably afford to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
Harvard President Alan Garber's voluntary pay cut will take place during the 2026 fiscal year,
Is that how much presidents make?
which runs from.
schools?
I mean, is that a lot?
Maybe just for Harvard.
For a paycheck?
$1 million?
For a paycheck?
Just to be
Absolutely.
president
Yeah.
of a school?
Just to have a
Oh, it's
job?
$1 million. I'm
He
sorry.
makes more than the president.
That's
of the country.
100,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
He makes
Like
a lot
he's
of
gone past he's not a million. It's $880,000 a year.
He
where
makes just a little bit more over that police officer.
You're right.
Just a tad more than that police officer.
Inky binky.
Right.
He makes more than the president.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I don't know about this one.
Who? What president?
Donald Trump.
What is the president's
They
salary?
make about 400.
they make about $4 something, a year. But
400
they also
400,000.
get a house. They also get security to get a
400,000,
chef.
excuse me.
They got a plane, a helicopter, a boat.
Yeah.
They get a person.
Yeah.
They get
people.
They
they
get
get-
security.
They get a whole this staff. You
Yeah.
ever watch any of those presidential movies with the
Yeah.
staff members?
Yep.
Like,
And on top of that, they also get everything they paid for. So their per diem per day, like Donald Trump's per diem is probably $1 million a day because he has to go golfing.
McDonald's.
He got to go McDonald. They got to shut McDonald down. All of the
they
things.
need to buy mad cotton candy to make his hair.
There's a show with the murder in the White House. It's on. Watch The Residence.
The
That's a good
Residence
show,
is
yeah.
so good.
Yes,
Is
I like
it?
that show.
It's so. Did you watch it?
How many?
What are you watching?
I'm still on Good Doctor.
Oh, wow.
It's
You're
8
missing a lot.
season.
The Residence is very good and
No,
it's very
I'm gonna
funny.
get when I like these things because when I get off of this, I have so many things to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh my god, what am I gonna watch? Like I've got things to watch.
I know. Well, that's where I am now because Will Trent is done. But Raising Canaan, I realized that I missed a lot, so I have a couple, one more to watch for Raising Canaan. But then I need a series. I need a binge series right now. So anybody give me suggestions for a binge series, and I ain't watching nothing scary, so don't suggest
I don't know
nothing like
nothing.
like Us.
Oh,
or
you know what I watched? I
Y'all
watched something.
or-
Tom Segura got like some Black Mirror, but it's a comedy. It was weird as hell. Bad Thoughts. Bad Thoughts on Netflix. Y'all
All right.
you want to watch something funny? Watch Bad
It's
Thoughts.
funny. I'll watch it.
You
All
gotta
right.
watch it high.
It's crazy. It is. You watch it high is even funnier. Yeah.
Yes. So they said that his salary hasn't been disclosed, but in the past, Harvard presidents have earned an annual salary upward of $1 million. So he'll be taking a pay cut, which he got to pay for.
He'll be alright.
Yeah, he'll be fine. So that's that. What else do we have here? A girl and a man both missing from Dorchester, the police say. The two Dorchester residents, a 31-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl, reported missing earlier this year in separate cases. Boston police are asking for the public's help locating two missing Dorchester residents, a 31-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl, who were both reported missing earlier this year in separate cases. Oh, they said, why'd they repeat that like that? Alex Morial, 31, was last heard from on February 24th, and his last known address was the area of Virginia Street in Dorchester. Did they ever find Joey's brother?
Nope. Still missing.
Still missing.
Yeah.
He's described as a white male, about 5'9", approximately 180 pounds, with short brown hair and a tattoo on his left forearm. According to investigators, Morial is believed to be in Boston in the area of Massancas, as well as Dudley Street and Belden Street. Police are also asking for the public's help finding 16-year-old Jawanda Steed Calhoun, who was last seen around 2 a.m. on April 17th near Woodward Park Street. She is described as a black female, about 5'3", approximately 130 pounds, with medium-length hair in braids. She also has a tattoo on her right arm that says "Blessed" and 3 nose rings. She's 16 with 3 nose rings and a tattoo?
That's the problem.
They small.
That's the problem. Wait, because I can't even see them. Oh, it's one there right there.
Two little ones.
Calhoun went missing in February and traveled to Philadelphia, but now may be in the area of Clifton Street. Police are asking anyone with information about Calhoun or Morial to contact 911 or contact detectives. Information can also be submitted anonymously through the Crime Stoppers tip line. I'm gonna ask them little boys next door if they know the little girl, because they said Clifton Street. That's near over there by us.
That's your street.
No.
That's by me.
Yeah, that's by you.
Where is that?
Somewhere by you.
I ain't never walked that street.
Yeah, I'm
it's
sure
dangerous.
You did. I don't know. Eversource says there's an issue of substation in Andrew Square caused thousands in Boston to lose power.
Yesterday, when I was driving to mommy's appointment, we were driving up Humboldt. Not one single light was working. Then I turned on to Seaver Street. Not one single light was working. And then Boston Public Schools started sending text messages about there being a power outage all over the city, affecting the internet and everything like that. So what is it now?
From lotto signs to traffic signals, the lights were out Wednesday in Roxbury, as well as several other Boston neighborhoods, leaving those who live there with quite a surprise. The outage affected 25,000 homes and businesses across Roxbury, Dorchester, and the South End, and it lasted roughly an hour. The outage may have happened on a bright, sunny day, but the impact was still felt from intersections to classrooms. Crystal Semper. Oh, go ahead.
All right, here goes a clip.
The night team Stephen Quinn is live for us in Boston with more details tonight. Stephen.
Oh, Johnny, and obviously the good news is the lights are back on and have been, but Eversource says it's still trying to figure out exactly what it was that caused them to go out. From lotto signs to traffic signals, the lights were out Wednesday in Roxbury and in several other Boston neighborhoods, leaving those who lived here with quite a surprise.
My girl's going crazy, and she's like, the power's off. I'm like, why? You paid everything. So it was just baffling to me.
The outage affected 25,000 homes and businesses across Roxbury, Dorchester, and the South End. It lasted about an hour. The outage may have happened on a bright, sunny day, but the impact was still felt in intersections like this one to classrooms. Crystal Semper explaining how dismissal was held at the local Boston Public School where she teaches.
We just had no power, so we had no way of calling buses. We had no way of really communicating, so staff had to run around the building to say, this bus is there, this bus is here, this walker. Parents were coming in looking for their kids, so we had to do the old school word of mouth.
Eversource says it all started here at this substation in Andrew Square. What caused the power outage at the substation remains under investigation.
Pastor Troy said Canada shut the power
And the good
off.
news.
I mean, they said that
Troy mentioned something about Canada yesterday.
They did said that Canada holds the whatever to a couple of states energy or something like that, and they were like they will shut the power off at one point during those hostile negotiation situations back in the day. So I believe it. Canada was like, let me just test it. Let me just test it and see if it works. And it sure did. It was scary too, because you know people don't drive well. So with no lights on, like people were really either really cautious or blowing through the lights like it wasn't nothing. And I was a little nervous because, you know, I'm a safe driver.
Oh, yes.
That's who I am.
Salem double murder spotlights city's homeless population. So, 30 30-year-old Jay Blodgett is facing 2 counts of murder. Authorities say the victims, 41-year-old Andrew Gumpel of Arizona and 42-year-old Jonathan Thompson of Oregon, were beaten and stabbed to death. Their bodies found buried in the dirt.
This is a follow-up to the story we did earlier.
We did before?
Yeah, I think
really?
so. Mm-hmm.
Shortly before the murders, Blodgett was facing charges for allegedly breaking into a trailer of another side of Highland Avenue so he could move in. The gruesome case shines a light on the homeless population in Salem. If those people were in a shelter, we have an overflow shelter. If the overflow shelter, this may not have happened. They may have been safer, said Salem City Councilor Jeff Cohen. He is one of several city councilors struggling to help. When I walk by an unhoused person, I ask them how they're doing. I don't see them as a nuisance or litter. I'd love for them to get into a better place. Have they had a meal that day? Cohen said. The scene of the double murder, the homeless encampment, is mostly hidden, sitting in the woods overlooking a busy Walmart.
Wow.
Really?
Here goes the story.
Go, yes, please.
Stabbed to death near a Walmart.
1 second. It's freezing here a little bit.
It's freezing just a little bit.
Parking lot.
Oh.
Now 3 weeks later, crime scene tape, as you see here, it's still up at what used to be a homeless encampment. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward explains how Salem's leaders say they're trying to help their homeless population.
Until very recently, this was a homeless encampment right here in the woods of Salem. But this is actually a lot more than that. This is also a crime scene. At the end of April, police found the bodies of 2 murdered men right here at this encampment, and a homeless man is charged with their murders.
30-year-old Jay Blodgett is facing 2 counts of murder. Authorities say the victims, 41-year-old Andrew Gumpel of Arizona and 42-year-old Jonathan Thompson of Oregon, were beaten and stabbed to death. Their bodies found buried in dirt here. Shortly before the murders, Blodgett was facing charges for allegedly breaking into this trailer on the other side of Highland Avenue so he could move in. The gruesome case shining a light on the homeless population in Salem.
If those people were in a shelter, we have an overflow shelter. If they were in the overflow shelter, this may not have happened. They may have been safer.
Salem City Councilor Jeff Cohen is one of several city councilors struggling to help.
When I walk by an unhoused person, I ask them how they're doing. I don't see them as a nuisance, a litter. I'd love for them to get into a better place.
That's unfortunate.
Boy, I tell you. Boy, I tell you. That's unfortunate.
Sorry. An 8-year-old struck by car in Brockton.
Here we go.
8-year-old struck by car in Brockton, police say. Authorities are investigating after a boy was hit by a car on Wednesday afternoon. Police say the 8-year-old was struck shortly before 3 p.m. at the intersection of Warren Ave and Nelson Street. The boy was alert and conscious when he was transported to an area hospital, according to law enforcement officials. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The cause of the crash is the boy was in the street. And the car hit him. That's the cause. What do ICE agents legally have to do when detaining someone?
They don't give a damn. They don't got no rules.
This is true. Several recent immigration raids in Massachusetts have been recorded on video from Worcester to Waltham. Some have been violent. They also show bystanders demanding answers from ICE agents who often ignore their requests. People taking issue with the ICE arrest say they don't like the tactics or that the agents cover their faces as they detain people, often with limited documentation. So what are ICE agents legally required to do when they're detaining someone? Here are some answers from Bruce Folkart, who spent 31 years as a federal law enforcement agent. He was also the former assistant director for Homeland Security investigations.
The federal government released this statement about the recent ICE backlash. The interference with ICE operations around Massachusetts has been disturbing, to say the least, she writes. This conduct poses significant public and officer safety risks. It is conduct that should be vilified rather than glorified, unquote. People taking issue with ICE arrests have told us they don't like the tactics or that the agents cover their faces as they detain people, often with limited documentation. So in tonight's Question Everything, we ask, what does ICE legally have to do when detaining someone? Here's WBZ's Mike Sullivan.
It's all over social media. Just click, click, click. You'll find it.
22,000 people saw it.
Posts of federal agents taking people into custody.
You know how they don't care. You can tell they're ruthless about it.
Which agency are you with?
It makes me feel sick to my stomach.
Often you'll see bystanders asking questions like this.
Do you guys have a warrant?
But do federal agents have to show them that warrant, and what are they obligated to do on scenes?
Certainly, officers do not need to show a warrant to the public as they are executing that arrest.
Bruce Folkart spent 31 years in federal law enforcement, including Homeland Security investigations.
When an officer makes an arrest, generally they're not going to show that piece of paper to that person that they're arresting.
He says that will come when the situation is safe and an arrest has been made.
There's plenty of time to show that person the warrant afterwards.
These warrants don't come from a judge. They are administrative warrants, which can come from Homeland Security or ICE.
It doesn't allow, the agents to have search authority.
Meaning they can't enter a private property without consent.
Oftentimes these individuals are searching for and going to remove have existing warrants.
That could be outstanding federal, state, or local warrants. They could also be criminal in nature. But what if they don't have a criminal warrant? Can someone be picked up?
And many times they have warrants of removal. They are out of status. They have had their due process, and an immigration judge has decided they are to be removed.
Here's another question often asked at ICE arrests.
Did he answer that question?
He did, technically.
So
he said, what was the question again?
Do you need a warrant to be removed?
So they can't go back.
Yeah, because
I heard it, but then I didn't think I paid it. Not too bad.
And many times they have warrants of.
It could also be criminal in nature. But what if they don't have a criminal warrant? Can someone be picked up?
And many times they have warrants of removal. They are out of status. They have had their due process, and an immigration judge has decided they are to be removed.
Here's another question often asked at ICE arrests.
So what was that?
So again, I keep forgetting the question.
Do they gotta show a warrant?
Do they often have a warrant, not show a warrant? So the warrant is I have a warrant out for my arrest. So basically he's saying that they've already been due process. They already know that their legal visa is up. So you don't necessarily have to present a warrant because they already know that they're not supposed to be here anymore. So that was the answer to that question. You guys are throwing me off with the warrant because I know that they have to present a warrant, but is there already a warrant on the people's head? Technically, yes, because they have to go.
Because I remember the video we were watching, they were like, where is the warrant? Where is the warrant?
Yeah, so they aren't going to show that piece of paper to the person that they
don't have to.
Yeah, we want to get
like
that person into custody as quickly as possible and not a threat to the public or to you or the public. There's plenty of time to show that person the warrant afterwards.
That's terrible. Yeah.
That movie was finished?
Mm-hmm.
Do ICE agents need to identify themselves? Another question.
Oh, yeah.
What agency are you with? By law, a federal agent must identify themselves, but what suffices as identification? They don't have to verbally respond to anyone with regard to this. We always had a policy to wear some sort of raid jacket. If you're going to be out there making an arrest in the public, have something with your credentials on it. He says the goal is to get everyone at the scene through the arrest safely.
I feel like he's not answering any of the questions, right?
Well, he's not. He wasn't even an ICE agent. He was just an agent that worked for.
He's a federal. He used to work for federal. He used to be a federal agent that used to even work for Homeland Security. But it doesn't seem like what he's saying is correct. You can just go up to somebody and arrest them with a vest on that says ICE on it, and they don't have to have any type at all of nothing.
That's how that lady arrested the man's girlfriend, remember? She had on a t-shirt that had an ice cube on it. It was like, come with me.
Officers do not need to show a warrant to the public as they are executing the arrest.
Yeah.
When an officer makes an arrest, generally they aren't
going to show you the piece of paper.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. So, okay, my other question is, they can't enter into your home because it's a private property. Is cars not considered private property?
Yeah, they are. You need a warrant to search a car.
So that's what I'm saying. He's saying that they can't enter into private property without permission, but I'm seeing a lot of agents busting out windows. Isn't that entering into my private property without permission? Or can I just do that because you are under arrest?
If it's entering. I know it's breaking.
No,
Right.
you
So
break
with
it
these
and then you
people
go in and drag them out. You entered into that person's car.
Yeah. So with these people that they've been arresting lately, they have warrants for them?
They're not. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that they actually have warrants. I think that they're just following an order that if you get a piece of paper with a name and address, or you find this person, that you are to bring them in hell, high water, or fuss. I don't think they have any
because
warrants.
we do know of incidents where they arrested the wrong person. Or
Yeah.
they broke into the wrong house. And
So
things
wouldn't
like
you
that.
want to,
So-
like, even on the most basic level, wouldn't you want to, hey, are you such and such?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I could lie, but
I don't know.
That's
those,
weird.
Those ICE agents that I've been seeing in these things doing this raids, they just look like mean
people, like
bad hombres.
Yeah, like the people that never got picked for the volleyball team, and
Yeah,
now
and they
just
feel
want
like
to
they're like getting some kind of
you know, like
hard on for
losers.
this.
Yeah,
It's
losers.
Losers. Police, courts, and fire. A man dies after being thrown from a car crash in Mattapan.
Yeah? Why?
I didn't even. A man was killed early on Sunday morning, May 11th, when he was ejected from a car during a crash on Walk Hill in Mattapan.
Really?
1:28 a.m.
Yeah. The report of a motor vehicle accident came into B3 at 12:28 a.m. The victim, whose name has not been made public, was pronounced dead at a local hospital. A BPD report noted that 2 other vehicles parked on the street sustained damage. I never heard anything about that.
Me
2
either.
shooting incidents, including one in which a person self-applied to a local hospital after a report of shots fired at
Is that what
Page
it's
Street
called?
near Franklin Park, took place at the Area B3 Police District on Sunday. The first report of a shot spotter activation came at 1:12 p.m. on Landor Road.
Which is right here.
Wasn't we here Friday at Landor Road? It's a Friday, right?
Yeah, 1:12 p.m.
Where's Landau Road?
Right there,
Landor
across the
Road,
street.
right there. Mhm.
At what time?
1:12 p.m.
1:12.
Yeah.
But they said the police they came in at 12:28 a.m.
Oh, Sunday. It was
Oh.
Sunday. There were no injuries reported, but 4 vehicles were damaged by the gunfire. A BPD report indicated that 24 shell casings with 24 different caliber guns. With
Wait, it was
24
a-
shell casings from 2 different caliber
But
guns.
wait, there was a crash and a shootout.
Yeah.
Oh.
Were found on the street. No. This is 2 different. There's 2 different incidents.
Okay, because
The
I'm
crash
like,
is one.
that was
The
dramatic.
shootout is a different one. In the shooting on Page Street at 11:54 p.m., so this is another shooting. 11:54 p.m., responding officers found shell casings and observed 5 vehicles had ballistic damage and blood evidence. While at the scene, officers were told of a walk-in gunshot victim at Boston Medical Center who had refused to speak to a police officer. The man who owned a vehicle that transported him to BMC was later held on multiple open warrants. Damn, that sucks.
Wait, he turned himself to the hospital and then got held at the hospital for multiple open warrants. That's why he didn't want to say.
That's why he didn't want to talk to the police in the first place.
I have something to say, man.
In another incident, last Wednesday evening, May 7th, Boston police arrested a 17-year-old who they said was walking on Woodmere Street off of Morton Street in Mattapan with a loaded gun with a passel of bullets. What is a passel? Police officers on patrol shortly after 8 p.m. spotted the teen with 3 other youths and suspected he was carrying a weapon because he was walking with his right arm pinned to his body and began to manipulate an unknown object in his waistband. A frisk search found the teenager was packing a Kel-Tec PMR 30 with 1 round in the chamber and 29 rounds of ammunition. What did he have, a magazine? 29 rounds? Is 29 rounds 29 bullets? Y'all?
Yes, I don't know. 29. I would assume
you got a gun thing.
So I ain't got a gun. No, I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna make an educated guess and say yes.
Yes,
because it's a
round
round of a bullet because it go around the revolver.
So 1 round in the chamber and 29 rounds of ammunition inserted into a magazine. Damn,
that's a
That
lot.
was- it clicked like this.
That's a high caliber handgun.
It sure is. The teen, too young to have his name released, faces multiple firearms charges.
He's too young to have his name released, but he got a 29 rounds, 29 bullets. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And the PMR 30, I suppose that means that it holds 30 bullets.
Yes.
Oh.
Because one in the chamber.
1 in the chamber and 29 in the round.
That's a lot. What size bullets are those? Little? Or what size gun is it? Big?
It looks like a pretty decent sized gun.
Yes.
Or like this?
Like this.
I don't know.
Like this or like this.
Or like this. You know, like.
Can you hold it like this, or do you have to hold it like this?
Do you have to point it straight or like this?
Is it a tule?
Is it a chopper?
Somebody answer the question. These is real questions. These are real good questions.
We need to know.
In another incident, a 15-year-old boy was arrested last Wednesday after police say they were called to the Loop at Mattapan Station building on River Street at 12:50 a.m. for a report of two masked people pulling on the apartment doors. And we talked about this one already. This delinquent, he faces firearms charges as a delinquent, this 15-year-old. I don't know why he was out at 12:50 a.m. on a Wednesday when he should have been in his bed getting ready for school the next morning. 15 years old. So that's the good police report from our good friends at the Dorchester Reporter. City Council agrees to try to change the way Bostonians pick elected officials.
Ooh, they gonna change it because Tanya making them change things.
Lord. Tanya said, I'm going to make changes in this situation. The Boston City Council voted 8-4 today for a measure to change the way councilors and the mayor are elected by letting voters rank candidates in order of preference. Oh, ranked voting. The proposed ranked choice voting request now goes to the mayor, and if she signs it, to the state legislator, which would have to approve a referendum for Boston voters on whether to shift to the system Cambridge has used for decades to elect its councilors. City Councilor Gabriela Coletta Zapata, never heard of her, East Boston, Charlestown, and North End, who led hearings on the proposal, says this means the earliest Boston voters could get a new way to vote could be 2028 or 2029. Under the proposal, in municipal elections, rather than filling an oval for a single candidate or up to 4 ovals for large seats, voters would rank candidates in order of preference. Coletta Zapata detailed the process in a summary of the proposal. Voters may rank up to 4 candidates, including write-ins for each contest. In single winner elections, if no candidate receives more than 50% of first choice votes, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated and their votes are redistributed to the next highest ranked active candidate on each ballot. I don't know what I know what I said.
Let's see if they can break it down.
I don't know what it is.
What I read.
It's all about ranked choice voting, and that is something that brings out strong opinions even in the best of times, but as you mentioned, in this current moment, it's even more difficult. Rigorous debate.
I'm a big believer in making things fair. I disagree with changing the democratic process.
From 12 of Boston City Council's 13 members.
Councilor Fernandez-Anderson.
2 trains of thought taking up time, starting with an election shift to ranked choice voting, a system that sees voters list candidates in order of preference with an elimination-style runoff commencing if no candidate receives 50% or more of the vote.
Who wouldn't want candidates who aren't ignoring and only just speaking to their base, but are forced to build a broader coalition? That's what ranked choice voting is, and make sure that the person who is elected has the majority support of the voters.
Opponents call it confusing and unnecessary, pointing to Boston's past election issues.
Before you throw away a system that works, that the city can't even handle on its own, and substitute a very complicated system, they should really think carefully about what they're about to do.
The councilors passing the plan and sending it to Beacon Hill on an 8-4 vote. But like most council meetings these days, discussion turning to disgraced District 7 Councilor Tanya Fernandez-Anderson and calls for her to step aside.
They're always asking me, why is she still there? What are you guys doing as a council? So I do think it's important that we take a stand.
Councilor Murphy and Flynn asking the council to formally address the matter.
Legally, we don't have a right to make her leave, but we can say that as a body we don't agree.
I am not interested in playing the games of politics. I'm interested in following the law.
Say that, Ruth Z.
Councilor Murphy's resolution was sent over to committee due to multiple objections coming from council colleagues. As for ranked choice voting, again, that heads for Beacon Hill if it gets the green light, and Boston voters would be able to weigh in on the issue. At City Hall, Matt Pritchard, NBC 10 Boston.
Oh, well, that good.
I don't know what, like, Erin Murphy and my bestie Flynn want to do. Like, I don't actually get it.
Erin Murphy and your bestie are the ops. They want to do the opposite.
Don't you say nothing about my bestie.
I'm saying it. They want to do the opposite of whatever. Why do you think your mother would be calling me? They want to do the opposite of whatever everybody else wants to do.
I agree.
That's always what it is. Whenever they decide to do anything, it's like, let's just sit and wait for Aaron and Ed to oppose this. And then
and then we can move on. Because I don't know what their point is. So Aaron was very excitable about the fact that District 7 would be left with nobody if they didn't do a special election. They didn't do a special election, so now she's saying, well, let's leave them with nobody while we get let's leave them with nobody because we don't want her there. So at first you didn't want So at first you didn't want to At first you didn't want to leave them by themselves, but now you're okay with leaving them by yourselves as long as she's not there representing. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense to me, Mr. Air. I mean, Miss Air. Aaron Murphy, that doesn't make any sense.
That na make it.
At this point, stand down. Yeah. Your constituents need you to do something else with your life instead of worrying about somebody else's constituents.
That's the thing. What are they doing?
Exactly. You don't got no bill to write. You don't got no pictures to take. You so worried about D7. Why don't you come down here and do it?
Move into D7 so that you can be the representative for D7 since you so worried about D7.
Until we find somebody else, you be it, Aaron. You be it.
Or Ed. I was riding his bicycle through there.
He ride his bicycle though. He know what the city need. Leave my friend.
Anyway,
hello.
Yesterday, the Celtics pulled out a Game 5 win against the Knicks yesterday, and guess what? Controversy. The NBA is
don't understand
accusations after the Knicks lost to the Celtics.
What's this, Deflate Gate?
Yeah, you know they always after us. They
free our back.
Right, like get up off me. For one night, the Boston Celtics didn't need Jason Tatum with his Achilles. That's rude. They beat the New York Knicks 127 to 102.
Oh, they sweat.
They mollywalked them.
They dog walked them.
127 to 102 at the TD Garden without their injured superstar on Wednesday to stave off elimination and bring their series deficit to 3-2. You know what? The Knicks probably were a little relaxed, right? Because they were like, "Yeah, ain't got Jason Tatum like we got."
He dropped 40 the last night before he got. So as long as he's not there, they can't do that.
As long as we take them out tonight, we all set. So whatever. But anyhow, I commend the Celtics for giving some fight last night. The Celtics leaned on 2024 Olympian Derek White and 24 NBA Finals MVP Jaylen Brown. They have Jason Brown in this article. Who wrote this article?
Me.
The former notched 34 points, I'm not going to read all of that.
Hold on, he got a clip right
and all those. Go ahead, do that.
He got you.
Hard on the cut. Feed from Brunson. Boy, Hart and down.
No, this is just the bloody elbow.
And Hart.
Who was that?
That was Hart and Brown. They got a bloody elbow to the elbow. Damn.
His elbow is bleeding.
His elbow punched his nose off. Which is this Game 5?
Mm-hmm.
Game 5. What did they call it? When you put everything like this, you wrap everything up, put in a Game 5
clincher.
No. What happened? Game 5 breakdown.
Highlights.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
That's what. Picture everything.
They say fans were suspicious of referee bias after Knicks superstar Jalen Brunson picked up 6 fouls in 15 minutes, with 5 in just 9 third quarter minutes. With 5 fouls called on Jalen Brunson in 9 minutes. Very normal, reasonable stuff. Brunson literally never falls out. This is hilarious. Coming out tonight, Jalen Brunson had 546 total games in his career. He fouled out of 4 of them. Tonight, he picked up 6 fouls in a 15-minute span of the playoffs game to foul out. 5 fouls in 9 minutes. Anyhow, they're calling some foolywag on this because they said that it's suspicious that this guy got all of these fouls. Do you think that the referees
he
was
did
on
speak on the fouls? Here he goes real quick.
A quarter like that and
5 fouls at 1 quarter?
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say to that.
Well, he says, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm sorry. That's what he says.
I mean, was he fouling? Let's start with the basics. The people that were watching the game.
Yeah.
Do you and I'm looking for an unbiased Celtics fan. Maybe not Chris. But somebody else that would be like, did you watch the game and what?
Well, that
was he actually?
This is Jess, Chris's
Uh-huh.
wife, and she says yes, he was fouling. He was fouling. Mike Nice says New York been playing physical, so we responded.
Okay,
so,
okay, okay.
So it was fair.
It was a fair. I think that what happened, like you said, they didn't expect the Celtics to come out like that. They thought that they maybe had a free night and that they was gonna do what they needed. That they was gonna whatever. But remember, that's what the people have been saying in the comments and stuff. If the Celtics lose, it's because of the Celtics, not because the Knicks are a better team. It's
Right.
because the Celtics are not playing up to par.
Yeah.
And I think that if it was me, I feel like because Jason Tatum was out, I would have wanted to prove that we could do it without Jason Tatum. Yeah. So like I would have went out there and balled hard.
And that's what they did. Ball so hard to fire me.
Yes.
They said beside me.
Can't tell me, please behind me.
Ball so hard. That's like that. At least 4 of those fouls were legitimate. Maybe at home they would have let 2 play on, is what Schneider had to say about that. So that is that, and that is the local news. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause.
And then we'll come right back after with coils to locks.
Coils to
and then
locks.
we'll get into the tie. The tie.
What time?
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Trish.
You are now listening to Spark. Each and every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. inside the Avenue, where you bring the drinks and we bring the vibes. My name is Gary Banton alongside my co-host Big Trini, right here in SparkFMOnline.com, the number one place for soca, hip hop, R&B, and more. Each and every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Avenue.
Gourmet Creole is bringing vibrant Haitian flavors to Mattapan. Join their grand opening May 24th at 1210 Blue Hill Avenue. This woman-owned restaurant serves specials like plantain sandwiches, chicken in Creole sauce, and a fried pork so tender it will melt in your mouth. Discover delicious, affordable dishes that bring Haiti's rich traditions to life, with vegan, vegetarian, and halal options available. Now available on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Check out the menu at Gourmet Creole.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. Visit masmp.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at SparkFMOnline.com. Turn us up. Spark FM.
Gotta be hard but no loving me. Shorty said she won't fuck with me. Told her think twice before loving me. Damn, look. Lifestyle getting hella fast. Fat, she hella bad. So many curves that could even crash, yeah. I don't wanna choose, I feel helpless. I just want them all, I can't help it. I don't wanna share, I'm too selfish, baby. Keep this between me and you. She always tell me we fuck through, but I just fall through and I fuck her too. She don't like lies, she want the truth, so I keep it 100 like fuck the rules. Told her she ain't the only one getting screwed. Now she wanna know who I'm fucking to. Now she wanna know, so I really let her. I like when she jealous and make her wetter. She know I don't need her, so it's whatever. But she know I know that bitch look better. Gotta dip in and out when I'm on the road. Can't say the cuddle, I gotta go. Can't say I love you, I really don't. Gotta stick to the hustle, it's all I know. I ain't gon' trip, slip, fall, cause I ain't that type of dude.
From the 617 to your backyard. My little bugaboo.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. You are tuned into Saucy and Friends in the morning every Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. And on certain days of the week, we bring you guys some professionals who are going to give you some information about things that may affect your life or someone in them. And that's what we have here today. We have the co-founders of Coils to Locks, Pamela and Diane. So we are just going to welcome you guys to the show. Welcome to Spark FM Online, ladies.
Yeah, excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. You can pull that mic straight up to you right there, all up in your face right there. And it can move. Yep, wherever it's comfortable for you, so you don't, as long as you're speaking right into it, then you're good. Pull it a little bit closer. So yes, Coils to Locks. Tell us what Coils to Locks is.
Coils to Locks is a national distributor of highly textured premium fiber wigs, and the business was started based on my experience as a cancer patient who lost all of my hair, needed to find a wig. I learned through the process that my medical insurance covered it, that there was this whole industry around medical hair loss, and I went to all of these spaces that were supporting women through hair loss through the purchase of wigs, but none of these medical hair loss spaces actually sold tightly coiled wigs like
black hair,
textured hair, yeah, kinky, coily, all the things.
Good old 4C, you know, like we need
exactly. That's what I'm looking for, the kinky, right? I had stopped straightening my hair, and so I just didn't recognize myself. It had been about 3 years since I had done the big chop when I got this diagnosis. And so for me, I wanted to find something that looked as much like my hair as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to fly under the radar. I didn't want to have to announce to everybody what was going on with me.
I get that,
and, you know, that happens when you change your hairstyle. People are like, oh, what you do to your hair? Your hair looks good. You know?
Especially people who don't know. Like,
exactly.
You know, we change, as black women, we change our hair on the fly, right?
You know,
but
I could be blonde one day and black hair the
But
next
you
day.
go into work and they're like, what did you do with your hair?
Oh, I like your new haircut.
Right.
Exactly. And I thought I was going to continue to work, and I wasn't able to after, you know, I was getting treatments, but I didn't want to go to work and have to explain to people or draw attention to myself like what was going on with my hair. So it was just very frustrating.
Yes.
And I do want to say, before I just, pass this on to Pamela, that we learned that this was not a me problem. Now, there's a lot of studies out there that shows that this is a systemic issue. According to the National Library of Medicine, for black women, our hair plays an important role in our identity and our sense of self, and it makes hair loss due to medical conditions especially traumatic for us, and that we experience significant psychological distress from hair loss. And wigs serves as a solution for us, but part of the trauma of that is not finding choice, the lack of choice,
the lack of access.
Yeah.
And just to add to that data, I just want to say, there's a number of things. Like the data showed us that nearly 50% of women in the U.S. alone are living with some form of medical or non-medical hair loss due to many reasons. Then the other piece of that is that we outspend other demographics by nearly 86% in the wig and weave market.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very personal to me because I went from locks down to my behind, dreadlocks down to my behind, and I was diagnosed with alopecia, and I had to. I ended up combing out my locks, and then I ended up going straight to wigs. And like you said, like now they're starting to do some kinky wigs, some kinky hair textures. But like around that time, like the choices were, middle part bust down or some, ocean wave.
And they weren't as affordable then as they are now too.
Very, very true.
That was another thing.
Yeah.
So they didn't have all these textures and they weren't affordable.
And that was now money that I was spending not only to buy the hair, but to get the hair put on and to do all the other stuff. So that plight is very, very real, so that's very interesting.
And so think in the medical hair loss space where it was non-existent.
Yeah.
That was our discovery, non-existent in these spaces. And so
it still is pretty much.
And it still is pretty much. Until coitus locks came along, so we're really we're not trying, we are disrupting that space across the country with our coily, curly, textured haired wigs.
How did you discover that your insurance would actually pay for your hair?
So my oncologist, luckily, I was blessed to have really good health care. I was treated here in Boston, and my oncologist said to me, you should check with your health insurance provider because you may have coverage.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I did. I had coverage. So my doctor wrote a wig prescription for me.
Who knew?
Right. A wig prescription.
It's an actual prescription. On a piece of paper. And the term is called cranioprosthesis.
Okay, yeah.
So he wrote a wig prescription.
That's so funny because if I hear cranioprosthesis, then you replacing part of my skull.
I know.
And you need that prescription in order to get reimbursed from through your health insurance.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
That's part of the process. And you need a few more things. But and so I learned, this is how I learned about this medical hair loss industry. He said there are many medical hair loss salons and hospitals you can go to. I went to the hospital where I was being treated. I'm going to be careful. I'm trying not to say, people who know me know where that was. But it's a major hospital here in Boston. And, they didn't have these wigs. And actually, when I walked in, I had 2 weeks to find a wig before I lost my hair. My oncologist said, that's the treatment will take your first chemotherapy treatment 2 weeks from the day you will start losing your hair. So I'm
and that's literally what happened.
And it literally happened that way. I'm like, okay, I have 2 weeks to find a wig. I had my wig prescription. I went to the hospital where I was being treated, and she's like, well, no, we don't have, she had beautiful wigs, but they were all straight hair. She's like, but you could buy one of our wigs with your health insurance, take it to a salon on Newberry Street and have them put. She specifically
very
said
specific.
Newberry.
The service that is offered. Okay.
Yep. And they will put chemicals in it to kink up the wig for you. And I'm thinking, well, why would I spend my health insurance to buy this wig and then take it somewhere else and pay more money
out of pocket
for them to kink up the wig?
Especially on Newberry Street.
So when she said Newberry Street, I'm like, okay, we talking money, right? So, I was like, oh, no, thank you. Yeah. So I knew there were other major hospitals here in Boston. I checked the ones that had these cancer center boutiques, and this is an industry. This is an industry. This isn't just like, some hospitals have these boutiques. Across the nation, Canada, different parts of the world, there are hospitals that have these boutiques set up, to support not just with hair loss, but other forms, like if you need mastectomy products and all types of things. But so I went to other hospitals. One I called, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to this hospital until I know for sure they have this wig. So I called. She's like,
she was giving all the descriptors like we were doing earlier.
Like, have tightly kinky afro texture? And yes, we do. So I go to the hospital, have an appointment. They did not have these.
They did not have it. What did they have?
They had a line of Sherry Shepherd wigs.
So they equated that to like, well, she's black.
I remember Sherry Shepherd wigs.
So that's what they had.
That's
and they weren't coily kinky.
Yes. Oh, there's a black lady that got wigs, so it must be what you're talking about.
What they're talking about,
this is
despite
making
my
me think,
descriptor.
Yeah, and it's making me think too, because I just want to get this piece in why Coils to Locks. In addition to, being a for-profit business that sells wigs, we have this component. We're a social impact business, so we have this component to educate, collaborate, do all the things so that people understand, especially people in the vendor space, in the hospital space, understand and know how to support Black women and have the language and have the knowledge to feel comfortable. Because that was a challenge that we were finding too. It's just like, oh yeah, we have these wigs, and it's just like, no, you're not getting it.
That's so. I'm looking at the Sherry Shepherd wigs, and those are awful.
Sorry, Sherry.
Sorry, Shirley. Thank you for doing this. This is terrible.
Where are your wigs sourced from?
Well, they're sourced overseas.
Ooh, tariffs!
That's why I went. There's a whole other show.
I mean, when you ask that question, it's just like my blood pressure went up.
Which is the cause of hair loss.
And other forms of stress. When we first started this business, like Pamela and I, we had no experience with, the wig industry. And so we did a lot of research. Well, other than Pamela wearing wigs, because she's an actress as well. But we found that almost 80% of the wigs are sourced in China. So we found some manufacturers in China. And that was a long process.
I can only imagine.
It took us 2 years.
We did not go. But it took us 2 years to find a quality, because we didn't know what we were doing. Figure it out.
We do now. We have been through the accelerators and all the programs. With the tariffs, I mean, we knew 2 years ago that we needed to diversify, and we were trying to figure out how to do that. But with these tariffs, we've had to really, we're going to have to go overseas.
We gotta go to Indonesia.
So we have some things planned.
Other places.
Your wigs are synthetic?
They're synthetic.
They're synthetic. Okay, all right.
Premium fiber synthetic.
Okay.
And in the hospital spaces, that's what they prefer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense, because they'd probably have to go through extra filters and screening to get, human hair wigs in there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Definitely that part. And, you're told as a patient that the hair loss is temporary.
Yes.
And synthetic wigs are a lower point of entry for patients who are, who may not want to buy a $2,000 wig if their hair's growing back in 6 months.
Right,
Now, as a cancer survivor, I can tell you your hair does not always grow back. For some people, it grows, for me, this is my hair, but I have bald spots that I can cover up.
I was like, this wig look nice.
Now this is one of our. This is one of our.
This is I don't know. That might look real. I was staring into your scalp I think she's lying.
This cannot be synthetic. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Pamela's wearing one
of
our
but I like the locks.
It's. Your hair doesn't always grow back. So we have met women whose hair never grew back or grew back partially. Or they have more bald spots they can't cover up I can cover up.
Or it's less dense so that you can see the parts in their scalp or things like that.
You guys have had excellent media run.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys have, I think I first discovered you guys when I was coming out with Spark FM, and I was like, these ladies are doing it. You know, like I've never heard of you. That's when I think that's the first time that I've ever heard that your insurance could possibly pay for your wig if you have a medical condition or something like that. And then I was like, oh, black girl wigs too. Tristan's been playing a video of you guys on the Jennifer Hudson show. You've been in probably a lot of news publications, a lot of TV shows, a lot of different interviews and stuff like that. What has those types of things done for the company? And also with you, Pamela, like how have you been able to shape the brand as her support, as a co-founder, you know, like someone that is, you know, kind of that has rallied around this from the beginning, you know, and as an actor too, like how has that helped?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, obviously as her sister, you know, we as family members were going on this journey with her, you know, as a support system and that sort of thing. But I also am challenged with traction alopecia. And so, with traction alopecia, which is a form of alopecia. And I just want to say, if you have hair loss, you have alopecia. Alopecia literally means hair loss. You know, that was a discovery of mine too during this journey. But it literally means hair loss. And so I have traction alopecia, which is preventable. Unfortunately, a lot of black women, you know,
use the braids
because
and all
of the
kinds
braids,
of
too tight braids and that sort of thing. You know, bad styling choices and stuff affect that. But I've been living with that for a long time. And I also, from the perspective of knowing wigs, I also, as an actress, used to walk into the hair and makeup trailer and they would see my natural hair because I've been natural for a long time. I had locks for like 10 years. And they would see my natural hair and you could see them just melt, like getting ready to have a meltdown. So I learned to bring wigs with me. And they see that wig come out the bag, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. I've had too many hair disasters with my natural hair.
I can only imagine.
On set, and I'm just like, I am not going on set looking like that.
Think back to Tyler Perry's beginning with those wigs.
So between my own, you know, journey with hair loss and then knowing wigs, being an actress, it really, you know, brought another element. And then Diana and I were long before we knew coils to locks was going to be a thing. We were blogging. We were natural hair bloggers.
Oh, wow.
We still have an active site that needs a little TLC, but we still have an active site called Natural Hair Care News where we blogged about the social and economic impacts of wearing your hair natural and that sort of thing. So, you know, we bring all of this experience to what we're doing, but, you know, we didn't know at the time that was what was going to happen.
I think that's so great. I mean, because the support system is another big thing of not only, you know, hair loss and dealing with those types of ailments and whatever, but also entrepreneurial journey. You know, like when you have a great support system around you, it takes some of the stress off, but you know, you're still dealing with everything else. You guys have a couple of really great initiatives that are going on right now. One is a crowdfunding campaign to help support your mission and what you guys are doing. Tell us a little bit about that, and then you also have a little BOGO. So tell us about those two things.
I guess I'll take the crowdfunding campaign. So we, you know, like any small business, you need money to grow. We are in a multi-billion-dollar industry that, and people like us aren't the ones making the money in this industry. So I just want to say that.
Say that. Say that.
But of course, we started this. We are a for-profit social impact business, but you need money to grow. We bootstrapped this business from the beginning. And so our crowdfunding campaign, the goal with our crowdfunding campaign is to help bring our business to the next level so that we can expand beyond the 27 hospitals that we currently are in.
27?
Across the country.
Wow, that's great.
When you realize that there are like over 6,000 hospitals that have cancer specialties and practices, we're just, you know, it's the tip of the iceberg. But yes, we are excited about the fact that we're in 27 hospitals because we did that through blood, sweat, and tears, and with very little money. Crowdfunding will help us we're trying to raise $250,000.
That's what I was about to say. How much?
In terms of, so we're looking for investors who want to take a chance on a high growth potential business. You know, we see ourselves as in, you know, like the, what is the
Warby Parker of wigs?
Other word I'm thinking about the guy that started like Ebony magazine. Magazine.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
You know, like you have to start somewhere before you can become a large conglomerate. But you need money to make money.
Oh yeah.
And so we, you know, right now we're still pretty much bootstrapping and putting the revenues back in the business, but we want to be a major player. So we started this crowdfunding campaign. It's our second campaign. We're trying to raise $250,000. The first time we raised $78,000, and we were blessed to do that. We didn't reach our goal of $250,000, but
you said the first year you made how much?
The first crowdfunding campaign we made $78,000,
and that was through friends, family, and community.
That's dope. Yeah.
But you know, we are as Black people, you know, we through systemic issues, racism, and otherwise, we don't have like families with
long
deep pockets and friends with deep pockets.
Right.
And
that's the first thing that people are like, ask
thing.
your family and the friends. What? I'm not saying they broke, but the $20 that they gonna give me is not gonna help me get $250,000.
Exactly.
You know, so
you know, times are tough. So we're, you know, if you're out there listening and you want to take a chance on a high growth potential business that has a lot of traction, we have proof of concept. You want to go to coralstolocks.com/fund, FUND. And for as little as $100, you can bet on a business that we are determined to take to the next level and make this a multi-million.
Black
I
owned,
love
woman
that.
owned, yeah.
And it's an amazing cause because this is I don't know if you guys emphasized enough how this affects our mental health, you know, as Black women in general, dealing with, you know, already having kinky curly hair and the world saying that that's not good enough and whatever. And then when you lose that only piece of kinky curly hair that you have, then that's another set of worries and stuff. And so, do you guys service men as well?
That's part of our goal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yet,
all right. Yeah, it's coming up.
coming.
You know, like little best way to eat an elephant is and the children too.
Yeah.
Is little by little.
Yeah, one bite at a time, right?
Let's start to work on this and get this to where it needs to be, so that you guys can extend those resources to other, you know, groups that need that help too. So I'm not even rushing y'all because I want y'all to take your time so that they can't be no barriers to stop you when you start.
Absolutely.
And then there's a BOGO right now, right now. You guys
not right now.
Not soon.
So what we're working on is a buy one get one offer, looking to partner with hospitals where we, at the core of what we do is about access and inclusion and,
I love that.
and you know, the D word, diversity, you know, all those things.
It's a dirty word now.
I'll say that too.
I'll say diversity, equity, inclusion all night long.
All night long.
DEI. I'm on the DEI train.
Yes.
Yes. So one of the ways we want to make an impact is to have a buy one, give one offer or as part of our business model.
Yeah.
Where if someone purchases a wig, we automatically donate a wig to someone in need.
Pretty much a B Corp. So
Yeah.
you're you know, like a corporation that also gives back while making money.
Absolutely.
So like I love that. That is
Absolutely.
amazing.
So we're looking to
we got a
to
quick
implement
comment.
that.
Muffin Moses says, I'm a medical hair loss specialist, but I also provide hair loss services to help with hair growth and after major hair loss, which is great because as there are a lot of people that do accept this, like the medical prescriptions, and they'll put it on. So wait, when you get the medical prescription and you fill the prescription, you still have to find somebody to apply it for you, or do they also pay for the installation?
Yeah, or are they wear and go?
Yeah.
So they're wear and go.
Oh, good. I
They're
love me a
wear and
good
go.
wear and go.
So you take that medical prescription, helps with the health insurer to get that reimbursement. So
Okay.
you need that, and you need a formal invoice from the company or hospital that is selling the wig.
Okay.
And it needs to have like a diagnostic code on it. It has to be very formal. And you submit all of that or whatever else the health insurance company might need. It might vary a little bit from company to company, and submit for reimbursement.
Okay.
And then just in Boston, which hospitals would you go to? I think you mentioned it before. Would you go to get these wigs? Or
Here in
who
Boston?
specializes it? Yeah, in here.
Yeah, here in Boston, where Dana-Farber
Okay.
carries our wigs. We're in the salon at 10 Newberry on Newberry Street.
Y'all made your way to Newberry
Street. Beth Israel, Mass General, MGH.
Okay, the major hospitals.
So yeah, the major hospitals, and looking to grow in some other areas.
And you all are from here, from Boston?
Yeah, born and raised
Roxbury.
in Roxbury, Warren Garden. Shout out to Warren Garden.
Homegrown.
But I want to circle back a little bit. I want to add something to something Diane said that made me think of this, because we want people to know in terms of this medical hair loss space, like wigs it's not a vanity product.
No.
And if you want a wig for aesthetic reasons, that's great
There's
too.
many
You
out
can buy
there.
our wigs as well. But one of the things that is important, that in these spaces, not only being able to use your health insurance, but you're having now a private, dignified experience. There's a journey that you go on within this space where they pair you with a licensed cosmetologist. You get to have a private, dignified experience.
that.
Nobody can see that you're losing your hair or that you've lost your hair. And so there's a whole experience that you have in these medical hair loss spaces that you're not going to get outside of it, on top of, a beauty supply store is not going to write you a prescription,
Here, this is my prescription,
and things
ma'am.
like that.
I'm so glad that the medical field has recognized this, the hair loss, portion of, some of these diagnoses and things as something that's important, because it really, really is like your hair is your crown. And so, when I feel a little bit better when my wig is on. Right?
I want to know, is there a way for people to also invest as part from crowdfunding?
Right now, that is, if you're an larger angel investor, we can work out some safe note terms specifically. So I encourage, if there are companies that are foundations, for example, that invest in for-profits that may not want to invest in the crowdfunding campaign, but want to talk to us about something because they're interested in doing a larger investment.
Nice.
We can have those conversations.
Family offices, angel investors,
I love that.
all of those.
So how do people get in touch with you? How do people connect with you, find out more information? You guys have any events or anything going on that we want the people to know? As we kind of wrap up, I want to make sure that people know how they can get help.
Yeah. The Ellie Fund event that's coming up.
Yes, we'll be participating in the Ellie Fund event. I believe that's going to be at Roxbury Community College. I think that's on June 23rd. And then we're going to be at the Thelma Burns Center on June 28th. There's a health event there, so we'll be tabling there as well. So those are the two upcoming events that we'll be participating in.
Website is
coilstolocks.com. That's COILSTOLOCS.com. There's no K on locks. So coilstolocks.com.
And on social media, you guys are Coils to Lock Wigs.
So on Instagram, we're at Coils to Locks Wigs. Everywhere else, we're just at Coils to Locks.
Okay, perfect. So people, you guys heard it here. You can go and find out more information. Read their website. There's lots of really great information. I went through it today. Go read it. Find out how you guys can get the help that you need. Or if you know somebody that might be suffering from anything about hair loss or just dealing with their hair loss and mentally, just need some help, some reality, and somebody who knows what they're going through. These ladies are here to help, and they have a wonderful business that we just heard about, and really excited about it. I'm for it. Let's do it. And we're working on some partnerships and some collaborations with them to make sure that you guys are always knowing about what is going on when it comes to Coil Salak and when it comes to black girl resources, hair resources. Because we need that.
Yes.
We don't need more mousse and things. We need wigs, damn it. Damn it.
And can I give a shout out to Boston Medical Center?
Absolutely, yes. Gina! Sorry.
And company.
Our aunt works in the cancer care center at Boston Medical.
Yep, she sure does. Yep.
Okay, so she knows what we're talking about.
Yep.
I know she knows. But, Boston Medical has been wonderful. They are so interested in partnering with us in ways that will help folks in the community and support our business. So we're in ongoing conversations with them. And, they're going to be raising the bar in terms of how to work around community engagement.
Absolutely.
Like
I love
so
that.
we
They're gonna
really
be the
appreciate
blueprint.
them.
This is so great, and I thank you guys for what you're doing. I know it's a sacrifice of love. It's a passion project. It is a real established business, and I'm excited to know that your plans are to keep on growing and taking it as far as you can go, because we need that. We need that type of advocacy. We do have to pay some bills. So we'll be right back in a few minutes after this commercial breaks, but thank you so much, Coil Salak, Diane and Pamela, for being here. Appreciate you, and we'll definitely see you guys again because we need to stay updated. We need to know.
We appreciate you guys.
Spark FM online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. This is Saucy and Friends. We'll be right back, and we'll get into our national and entertainment news right after this. Keep it locked. Spark FM.
Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the ad.
Prioritize your mental well-being with Kuji Jakalia Wellness Center, a Black woman-owned therapy practice committed to culturally affirming care that understands you. Our licensed therapists specialize in personalized care, offering virtual sessions Monday through Friday by appointment because your healing should fit your schedule.
At Kuji Wellness, we embrace the principle of Kuji Jakalia, meaning self-determination, the power to define, create, and speak for ourselves. Your healing journey is yours to own, and we're here to support you every step of the way. We also offer individual, child, couple, and family therapy, helping families connect, heal, and thrive together.
Visit us at KujiWellness.com and book your appointment, because when you heal, the community heals too.
Gourmet Creole is bringing vibrant Haitian flavors to Mattapan. Join their grand opening May 24th at 1210 Blue Hill Avenue. This woman-owned restaurant serves specials like plantain sandwiches, chicken in Creole sauce, and a fried pork so tender it will melt in your mouth. Discover delicious, affordable dishes that bring Haiti's rich traditions to life, with vegan, vegetarian, and halal options available. Now available on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Check out the menu at Gourmet Creole.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets
Gourmet Creole is bringing vibrant Haitian flavors to Mattapan. Join their grand opening May 24th at 1210 Blue Hill Avenue. This woman-owned restaurant serves specials like plantain sandwiches, chicken in Creole sauce, and a fried pork so tender it will melt in your mouth. Discover delicious, affordable dishes that bring Haiti's rich traditions to life, with vegan, vegetarian, and halal options available. Now available on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Check out the menu at Gourmet Creole.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Praise the Lord, City of Boston. This is Brother Chris right here on Spark FM.
Come on, sing it.
Bringing you Sunday morning worship each and every Sunday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Let's get our praise on.
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music. Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
Where you are gonna see a million. We got it gon' go long just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I know that life is not easy. No say we are for winning. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
You could do damage. You could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the hard TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the hard TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the hard TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the
Ooh, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, 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 beautiful lady, I need you tonight. Love you, lovely lady. I wanna make you feel alright. What is it? Oh, TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop. Make me feel I need. I wanna see y'all don't. They don't make these kind of good music no more. All they want to talk is ram up in your pom pom and thing like that.
Right.
This I want to sex you up. That sound nice. I like it.
Nice. It's sensual. It's not
beautiful.
sexual.
Exactly.
That's what I like. Don't talk sex to me. I hate it.
I mean, it is sexual still.
It's not, but it's sex. It's sensual. It's not ram up in your pom pom.
Maybe they should have said love you up or something like that. But it's, you know.
I like the remix. Come inside, take off your clothes, I'll make you feel at home.
So what up, Nick Weezy?
Cause we're all alone.
Nick's such a rebel without a cause.
Nick, if you was my child, boy, I'm gonna tell you something.
Pow pow.
Pow pows.
Pow
I would
pow.
grab you by your ears. Anyhow, welcome back to Saucy and Friends. That we had a very, very nice interview with the ladies from Coils to Locks. And now we are going into our national news. This is tea. You said we was going to get to the tie.
So this is the thing. The national news and the entertainment news is both very, very juicy. So I'm going to try to get through all of them on time and in the right order, but y'all got to bear with us. Mexican security chief confirms cartel family members enter the U.S. in a deal with Trump administration.
Wow.
And I bet they gonna call Mexico a liar. So Mexico security chief confirmed Tuesday that 17 family members of cartel leaders crossed into the U.S. late last week as part of a deal between a son of a former head of the Sinaloa cartel and the Trump administration. Mexican security secretary Omar Garcia confirmed a report by independent journalist Luis Caparo that family members of Ovidio Guzman Lopez, who was extradited to the United States in 2023, had entered the U.S. Guzman Lopez is one of the brothers left running a fraction of the Sinaloa cartel after notorious capo Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was imprisoned to the U.S. Video showed the family members walking across the border from Tijuana with their suitcases to waiting U.S. agents.
I wonder if they came over the same if they stop and pick them up with the ones from Africa.
They should. No. I'm surprised he let them in here and didn't say that they could just die where they at, because that's crazy.
17 family members.
17 family members. I don't trust them. But then I also watch Teresa Mendoza, and the family members often don't want nothing to do with this stuff.
Oh my.
What's saying, Tristan?
What are we living in?
Foolishness.
Right.
Según él buscar lo mejor para,
I was afraid.
Para los suyos.
According to him, he's looking out for it, but the problem is the consumers are.
Si no hubiera consumidor.
If they weren't any consumers, we would stop.
Talking about the drugs.
Yeah, he's talking about the drugs. So they're talking to and he's probably heavy in the cartel right now. That's why he even got his hands covered, because he know that we gonna put
you know he got a Tren de Aragua tattoo on his hand. That's why.
And that one is a real one. Shoot. JFK versus RFK versus RFK. Anti-vax alarmist now claims no one should take his medical advice.
He said, he was like, I don't know why anyone would take medical advice from me.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. faced questions on Capitol Hill during his first congressional testimony since his confirmation. He sidestepped a question about whether he would vaccinate his own child, drawing further criticism of his response to the ongoing measles outbreak. MSNBC reporter, as joined by Zeke Emanuel. Yes, go to this clip right here, Tristan. Right. It's pretty long, so we'll try to get to the juice of it. But yesterday,
Kennedy Jr. was pressed today. This is his first testimony since his confirmation. And take a listen to this exchange.
My opinions about vaccines are irrelevant. I've directed Jay Bhattacharya.
Sure. No, like I said, I don't want to.
So that everybody can make that decision. But I don't want to seem like I'm being evasive.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Don't take medical advice from RFK Jr. That actually marks him backing down, because both in his public advocacy before this job and in the beginning of this job, he did confuse or conflate things for people by talking a lot about his vaccine skepticism. And when you are the health secretary, that's going to have an impact, including people thinking they're getting medical advice from you.
Exactly, right? Is that a hard concept to think? No. You are the health secretary of the United States of America. Why wouldn't people get medical advice from you? Did you not know? Ain't that your job?
That's his job. This is based on merit. Of all the people that they could have picked, RFK was the best one that they could find for this job. Of all the people.
What does that say about America?
Exactly,
what
Tony.
What does that say
America
about
is in shambles. It's in shambles. Where is a dumpster fire?
It is a...
It's a bullcrap.
Got to pray for us.
Keep it going. Man allegedly throws his girlfriend head first from off the third-story balcony in San Diego, which means a whale's vagina.
A whale's vagina.
Can anybody guess that movie trivia? You get 1 point if you can guess that movie trivia.
1 point. You get 1 million points.
1 million points. You get a gold card to come in
Sounds
here.
like Anchorman.
Yeah, all right. Billing, billing, billing.
It sounds like Anchorman.
Residents of a San Diego apartment complex were left shaken after a man reportedly threw his girlfriend off a third-story balcony in retaliation for her tossing some of his belongings over the railing. An eye for an eye, he said.
Is it an eye for an eye, bitch?
You go get him the same way you threw him.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Y'all should not be doing that to people.
She was 61. He was 57. They had gotten into an argument. She threw his stuff over, and he was like,
"You gotta go too.
You got to go.
Use part of my stuff."
Yeah. She did. She died.
Tristan has a little video here for us.
There's a video.
Greatest city in the history of mankind. Discovered by the Germans in 1904, they named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
I'm gonna go watch that movie. That hands down is one of the greatest movies of all time. If you want to laugh from your soul, you've got to watch Anchorman several times.
Yeah.
That and Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
My
very great. Very, very great. I want to watch both of them right now.
That was funny, Evans. It was funny.
A mom is accused of buying ammunition and tactical gear for her son, who authorities say was planning mass targeted violence at a Texan school.
And she knew that he was.
And is she in jail?
Do you see her?
Let me see her.
Oh, wow.
No.
Wait, show the people.
Oh, wow. I'm not even going to read more of this story because I don't have nothing to say. Just put her back.
Yeah. Put her
back somewhere where it gotta go. It's terrible. She did it. Everybody should be arrested. The whole family gotta go down for them too, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
A California man admits to scamming DoorDash out of $2.5 million using fake deliveries.
2.5 million. How many fake deliveries did you do
before DoorDash decided, hey, this guy's making what?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I was trying to just read headlines, but these things is killing me right now. A former delivery driver has pleaded guilty to conspiring with several others to steal over $2.5 million from DoorDash. Sayi Shati, this guy of Newport Beach, California, pleaded guilty on May 13 to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. In the schemes, the group caused DoorDash to pay for deliveries that were never occurred, according to the prosecutors. How? How? According to the indictment unsealed in October 2024, the group worked together between November 2020 and February 2021. During the period, Devagiri, along with all these people... Nope, that's still not what happened. The further alleged that the group used computer system to manually reassign DoorDash orders placed by their fraudulent customer accounts to the driver accounts. Prosecutors said that the man then would report the orders had been delivered on the driver accounts when they had not, and manipulated the software to prompt DoorDash to pay the driver accounts for the deliveries that never occurred. So basically, it is a whole technical scheme that they had running on here, probably using AI and Chat GPT, and that's how they were able to scan DoorDash out of 2.5 million American dollars. And a FedEx employee filed for attending Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, claims anti-white discrimination. What it mean? What you saying to me? A recovering alcoholic working at a FedEx facility in rural Pennsylvania claims she got fired for leaving early to attend an AA meeting, and contends her termination came about to a significant degree because her boss was prejudiced against white people. In the federal lawsuit filed Monday and obtained by the independent Margaret Finder, 64, alleges violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Pennsylvania Human Relations Act, and Section 1981 of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which prohibits race-based discrimination. On top of allegedly failing to accommodate her disability, the lady's former supervisor at FedEx discriminated against her because she is Caucasian and not Hispanic, according to her complaint, which says Latino employees were given preferential treatment while whites were treated less favorably. Reached by phone on Tuesday, this would have been settled and resolved by now. It shouldn't have gone this far. I still wanted to work. I didn't want it to get this. She claims that management singled me up and targeted me for things that everybody else got away with. Then she lamented, kept her from advancing professionally, and today she remains out of work. I had trouble getting jobs after that. In an email, FedEx said, we are committed to maintaining a workplace that is free from discrimination of any kind. We deny the allegations and we will defend the lawsuit. What did they say? What happened? Why is she, what? Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? The caucasity. Mm-hmm. Because what is the problem, honey?
What exactly is your problem? Because you skipped out work to go to the AA meeting, and because they said something to you about it, it's because you're white? It's because I'm white, huh? That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says that it would not be like what? I don't understand. What part was the discrimination?
I don't.
You wanted to leave work. I never had documentation in writing that I could leave at 4:00. But I should have. I said, should I get this in writing? And they said, no, just let them know. It's got to a point where everybody knew. I mean, common sense. You don't walk off the job without permission. She says she remained the shift manager and would be leaving at 4 p.m. for her meetings, to which the manager replied, okay. I'm not going to get into this because I don't really like white people tears, especially white women tears about foolishness like white discrimination, because that's not a thing.
You feel like they need to let you off of work early so you can go to Alcoholics Anonymous? Oh.
I mean, it's treatment.
Oh my God, it's the Karen.
That's what, like, you know, like, I feel like if they were letting you off to go to it all the time and they fired you this one time, something different happened.
Yeah.
Right? There was a different something that happened. And again, like I said, I don't care enough about this woman to go to research it.
The part that gets me is that your job shouldn't know about you going to Alcoholic Anonymous. It's in the name.
It's anonymous.
It's anonymous. Your job doesn't.
I guess. And my other question is there no other time to go?
There's no other meeting.
Yeah, they only have one meeting a day on a Monday.
Right.
You can't pick a time that you're not at the work if it's a problem. But what do I know? And my next, going right into the entertainment, which might take 2 seconds. Toni Braxton is going viral for her inappropriate outfit she wore to her son's graduation, which I actually don't understand why she wore that in the first place. So, but whatever. I don't know how celebrities work.
Because it's like Toni Braxton, you're already Toni Braxton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're already going to get attention.
Yeah.
You're going to your son's graduation. This is his achievement. Mm-hmm. Why did you have to wear that to the son's graduation? I just don't understand. It's just, you think she's okay?
I don't even know. I actually don't know what. I don't know. You know.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, like I guess I'm not. I don't understand because we don't really necessarily know Toni Braxton of being naked and like she be naked all the time.
I don't know, but I don't think so. But it says, ain't no way you wore that ish to his big day dressed like it's a pimp's funeral. What be wrong with people these days?
Yeah, like I really just don't understand the thought process of it. Like it's a graduation. It's not even
people know what she's wearing.
She's wearing a blazer with a some type of top under it, and then she has on a see-through bottom. So it's like a full bodysuit with a blazer over it and a laced bottom.
Yeah, lace see-through bottom.
Yeah, so I guess my issue is that You couldn't wear a little pantsuit to the graduation. Ain't there like a time and a place for different things?
Yes.
And she also looks like she's going to an actual funeral.
Somebody said she looked like she's dressed for a pimp's funeral.
Yeah, like that's she's wearing all blacks with a veil.
And a veil over her face.
With a veil over her face, sunglasses, a bodysuit, and a see-through skirt.
She looked like she should be on Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm just kind of confused, and I don't like this type of attention to our people for foolishness.
Diesel and Denim look like their daddy though.
Maybe they was going to a funeral right after. A funeral for
nobody else was dressed for the funeral except for her. Maybe she was only invited to the funeral.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
A sheer button-up blouse that exposed her stomach with a see-through lace skirt, a wide-brimmed hat, and large sunglasses.
It's foolishness.
It's foolishness. Next.
Next, what was rock the world yesterday is that the last 2 days we found out that Tory Lanez, who's in jail for many different things, including stupidity, was stabbed up 14 times.
Yeah.
Conveniently and strategically, I don't know. It just seemed all at the same time.
Yeah.
It just seemed all at the same time. Bro got stabbed 14 times. He survived. He's back. Then all of a sudden, the bodyguard that nobody ever saw or heard from again comes out randomly to the lawyers of Tory Lanez and was like, hey, I got some news to tell you. I just been sitting here all along watching all of this happen, but I know what really happened. Kelsey shot her.
Yep.
They was fighting and Kelsey shot her.
Yeah.
And that's what happened at the thing. And I couldn't sit around all of these years after this man been in jail and after this trial has gone on since 2020.
Guilt.
Now I need to tell y'all that he did not do it. Kelsey did it. Since nobody else, not even Tory Lanez, is going to tell anybody that Kelsey did it.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know that Kelsey did it. So here is the story. The bodyguard and driver for Kelsey Harris alleges that he overheard her say that she shot Megan 3 times before Tory Lanez slapped the gun out of her hand.
She shot her 3 times.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The saga of Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion cannot seem to end. Lanez, who was recently stabbed 14 times in prison altercation, is currently serving 10-year prison sentence for, among other things, shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in 2020 after an argument. Lanez, who has maintained his innocence in the shooting, the only other person aside from the driver of the SUV they were riding in was Meg's former best friend, Kelsey Harris. In a press conference held by Lanez's legal team, Unite the People, Walter Roberts, the lead legal consultant for the organization, alleges that Lanez didn't shoot Megan. According to Roberts, United People was approached by Bradley James, the bodyguard and driver for Kelsey Harris, during Lanez's trial, who allegedly overheard Harris admit to being the shooter. Ain't that hearsay? Mr. James informed Unite the People that he has witnessed to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun. She fired it 3 times. Robert shared with reports. Mr. Peterson Lanez grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched the gun, never fired the gun. According to Unite the People's website, it is a California-based nonprofit organization formed in 2014 by a small group of concerned citizens, defense attorneys, and families and friends incarcerated loved ones. Its stated goal is to fight for Robert claims that the statement aligns with the testimony given by witnesses Sean Kelly, who said he saw 2 women fighting and 2 men intervening before one man grabbed one of the woman's arms. Kelly also claimed that gunshots came from the passenger side of the vehicle where Harris was sitting, according to court testimony. In reference to why James, who did not sign any non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement with Harris, is speaking out now, Roberts said James was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Megan Thee Stallion has not yet responded to the United People's claims. However, her people have written a statement since then. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Megan never said who. She doesn't know who shot her. She just knows she was shot.
She actually said that Tory shot him.
Oh, she said that.
She said that Tory shot her.
Okay.
And she said that if Tory didn't shoot her, who did?
Okay.
So and Kelsey, she says that She also says that Kelsey was not the one who shot her, and Kelsey was mad at her because Kelsey never came out and said that Megan never came out and said that Kelsey didn't shoot her. So Kelsey is mad at Megan for not saying that she didn't shoot her, didn't tell anybody who actually shot her, pled the fifth, and now the bodyguard saying that he overheard a conversation even though he was there. Did he see it?
He was there.
From what I read, from what I was just reading, it didn't say that. He said he saw it. He said he overheard a conversation of Kelsey admitting it, and I didn't know that until right now.
Yeah, because he wasn't there. It was just the driver, and he's not the driver.
He is the driver.
Yeah,
he's the bodyguard and driver.
Oh, he's the bodyguard and driver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's not even saying that he was there and he was one of the men that was fighting to release the gun. He's saying that he overheard Kelsey saying that she did shoot him. So I'm confused. I
don't know. I still think Tori did it.
I still think Tori. I think I've always thought that Kelsey did it, and if Kelsey didn't do it, then Tori had something to do with it. I believe that I actually think that Tori was recklessly shooting the gun, and it happened to by accident shoot her.
I think.
Tell me what you think.
Kelsey had the gun in her hand. She was shooting it. Tori knocked it out of her hand. The bullet flew out at that time, shot Megan in the foot.
I can go with that. Go with that. All of that sounds like a reasonable thing that happened. I guess my biggest thing, and you guys can't keep telling me street cred because that makes me upset when you say stupid things like that to me. Tory Lanez is adamant that he didn't shoot her. There was a gun discharged. Somebody discharged the gun.
Right.
So by default, if you are saying that you didn't shoot her and Megan didn't shoot herself, that means either the bodyguard or Kelsey shot the gun. At what point were you going to say Kelsey or the bodyguard shot the gun? That's all I want to know. At what point did you, and then people say he was worried about his reputation and he didn't want a reputation because he didn't want to be known as a rat. So you abandon your son, your family, and you got the whole world hating this girl when you know for a fact that she didn't shoot that you didn't shoot it, and that she shot it, and you trying to protect this girl who didn't protect you. I guess I'm confused. Y'all tell me what I'm listening.
Oh, we say go. I'm
y'all don't got much debate because I think y'all made up your mind that Tory is guilty, but I'm fighting for all those who believe that Tory is innocent. And I want to hear what y'all got to say.
I ain't fighting for damn one of those, but they don't make me shit.
There was more to it Thursday. Isn't Kelsey pleading the fifth? Kelsey pled the fifth.
She got a deal, immunity deal.
And then she also pled the fifth.
Right.
Do you guys know what the fifth is? The fifth is I will not answer this question on grounds that I may incriminate myself.
Yeah.
Not the grounds that I might incriminate somebody else. Because she's going with the story that Tory did it. Because she never said that Tory didn't do it.
That's true.
So I'm kind of confused about why people are beating up on Megan Thee Stallion when everybody else around her as well is not telling the truth. So tell me. Somebody call me up. Schneider said, regardless of the shooter, whoever the owner of the gun is responsible. And was he the owner of the gun?
That's true.
If he was the owner of
Who brought the gun?
Yeah, I think that he brought the gun. It was probably Tory's gun. And as somebody who's here on a work visa or a documented migrant or a worker, whatever you are, you're not supposed to be in the possession of a gun. And if it gets fired, you're in trouble for that too. So I'm kind of confused. I'm just a little confused.
It was Tory's gun.
It was Tory's gun.
Yeah.
So Tory had an unmarked, unregistered gun that happened to go off in a vehicle that happened to shoot somebody in their foot. Why do you guys think he's innocent and he should be let off jail?
Right, because he's not in jail just for shooting her. He's in jail for all those other charges as well.
Which carry, I think, a 5-year minimum sentence for just having those things. So I don't really know. So Toya, it was Tory's gun. So can we admit, all of the free Tories, that it's illegal for him to have been in possession of an unregistered, unmarked gun.
And even if it wasn't his, for him to be that status that he is, it's illegal for him to even be around anybody who has that kind of thing. You're going to be guilty by association.
My also other thing is Tory decided to take to social media. Tory wrote songs. Tory did videos. Tory did everything. At no point did Tory not even want to insinuate that maybe somebody else shot the gun in the car that was not him. You make a video about a horse's foot getting chopped off while you are about to go to trial for shooting someone in the foot, and you want people to have sympathy on you for getting locked up for 10 years for not speaking your truth. Whatever. Moving the hell on, because y'all
not really
me off. It's not. He's got 3 different charges. Both of the other charges carry a sentence, so he's been charged for 3 different things: having the gun going off, and someone getting injured. Regardless of whether he shot them or not, he is guilty of all of those other things.
What's the next story?
Diddy.
No, the rapper Tory Lanez, alleged prisoner attacker, is a man who previously, with previous conviction for an assault on inmate. So is the inmate Tory that they're talking about?
No. So 2 things about this next story. The lawyer for Tory Lanez is insinuating that after Megan's team got a hold of where he was actually staying in jail, this is conveniently right before he got stabbed up 14 times. So they're insinuating that Megan pretty much sent someone to stab him up. And now people are telling me that this was just he got into a scuffle with an ex-gang member or something like that.
Yeah, what is a Mexican gang?
Authorities said Tuesday that a man who attacked rapper Tory Lanez in a California prison is an inmate serving life sentence for second-degree murder who was previously convicted for an in-prison assault with a deadly weapon. So before he stabbed up Tory, he was also in trouble for stabbing up somebody else. Lanez was in fair condition a day after the attack in a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in wherever he is, where he's serving a 10-year sentence for shooting hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in the feet. Pedro Caldin. Authorities did not specify how Lanez was attacked, but a message posted on the rapper's Instagram account Monday evening said Lanez was stabbed 14 times and both his lungs collapsed, but he is now fine. Ain't nothing wrong with him no more. And did he get? Let me leave that part. Moving on, Diddy and Cassie case is still going on. This is day 2 of this will be day 4 of the case. Diddy accused of he was also been accused of sexually forcing himself on a woman back in 2001 in a new lawsuit filed amid sex crimes trial. Oh, this is something new. This is a new case while he's on trial.
Yep.
Oh wow, he is in it. Sean Diddy Combs is facing a new allegation of assaulting a woman in 2001 amid his ongoing sex trafficking trial and additional sexual assault allegations, according to a lawsuit filed in the New York County Supreme Court on Wednesday. A woman who identifies herself as Jane Doe claims that the music mogul assaulted her in July of 2001. The lawsuit, which TMZ first reported on, also names other defendants, including Bad Boy Entertainment. Doe claims she met Combs in an elevator with 3 friends in May of 2001. She alleges that the music mogul asked her for her number the same day and that she and her friends later met with him at the club. During their second encounter 2 days later, Doe alleges that he attempted to kiss her, but notes that she physically moved to avoid the kiss. Combs, however, allegedly contacted her again in July 2001 and invited her to his studio. Doe says that she brought a friend with her and that they later went to the club, that was a sudden commotion that causes bodyguards to rush them out and drive them to a restaurant. Doe claims that when she and her friend decided they were ready to leave and close to do so without warning, Combs allegedly berated her on the phone. The two allegedly then met again on or about July 31st, during which Doe claimed that she and a friend met Combs at the studio and then entered a tour bus with open condom wrappers, used condoms, and women's underwear. After they arrived at the destination, the Bowery Ballroom, Doe alleges that she and her friend were brought to a private area where they were given drinks that made them feel weird. Doe, her friend Combs, and 2 to 3 other people allegedly then left in a black SUV and stopped at Combs' New York City apartment. In it there, that Doe claimed that Combs forcibly led her inside his bedroom, put his hand around her throat, and said, "I'm going to suck the life out of you." Doe claims that after he released her neck, he held her arm down while using his other hand to swiftly unbuckle his belt pants before pulling out his erect, bare-skinned penis, which appeared to be the length and girth of a large Tootsie Roll. Oh. That is terrible to say in a document. She claims to have been relieved about its size because she knew it wouldn't hurt much, but screamed for him to get off. Combs allegedly ignored her pleas and slid her underwear to the side and forcibly engaged in vaginal intercourse with her without her consent and against her will. Doe claims that Combs did not stop penetrating until he was close to climax. He allegedly then removed his penis from her vagina and ejaculated on her. After backing away, Doe alleges she went to the bathroom to wipe his semen off of her and ran outside to the black SUV, which took her and her friend to her apartment. Although Combs allegedly tried to contact her approximately 2 days later, she alleges that she did not answer his calls. Doe also alleged that she didn't respond to an invitation to attend one of his white parties.
So when he berated her on the phone the first time, then she decided she still wanted to hang out with him. After he berated her on the phone the first time, those things make me upset because I don't like it. Also, the only place that I would have been wiping his semen is into the rape kit cup.
Hello. Hello.
That's where the semen wipe would have occurred.
Hello.
I just don't understand. I don't like to, I stand with women who are victims of violent crimes. I just don't understand. In some cases, it's weird to me how they ended up being victimized. And I understand it's P. Diddy. You're starstruck, maybe. I don't know. But, I don't know. We gotta have better self-esteem.
I'm gonna just go and call it Stockholm syndrome.
But she said the story that you just read.
Yeah,
this one doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I understand the Stockholm syndrome because you and I talked about that yesterday. But this one here, where like we called him on the phone. He berated me on the phone, but then me and my friend went to a party again at his house. Why? Why?
And we see that a lot in a lot of these different stories. Yeah. Like we were talking yesterday about, we'll go right into Cassie about, this last explosive testimony that she gave about the 2018 rape.
Yeah.
And how, they were having a closure conversation. What was it?
Closure conversation.
A closure conversation. And
restaurant.
He decided that he was going to force himself on her. But then a day later, she went and had sex with him again?
Well, she didn't say a day later, but she did say that she did go back and have sex. So they met at a restaurant to have this closure conversation. They had the closure conversation, and somehow they ended up back at her house where he raped her on the floor.
Yeah.
And she was already seeing
her husband,
her husband was their personal trainer. Diddy and her personal trainer. And then now she's married to him. And I also heard that Diddy was trying to get his money back from the personal training sessions.
Oh,
because Cassie is now married to this man. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I couldn't understand why, after they had this closure conversation at a restaurant, why Diddy ended up back at her apartment. But I don't think I've ever been in this. I don't think, but I've never been in this situation, so I don't know.
What I said to Tony yesterday is that, and this might sound really, really bad, but I do believe that there are a lot of women out here that are very weak in the mind and don't have, the type of strength that they need to overcome certain issues. So they fall in this category of just kind of the victim, like all the time. It's almost like they say fight or flight. And I've known a couple people, we've talked about this conversation, that says that they are one of the people that freezes and almost just lets things happen because they're so scared of what could possibly happen. From what I feel about myself, I couldn't be that girl. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't be in a decade-long relationship with somebody that was knocking my head in and dragging me across things and making me engage in 4 4 days of sexual intercourse while my mouth is filling with sores and I'm dehydrated and I'm getting UTIs. Yeah, I don't think that there's any way in life that it makes sense to me that somebody would willingly, without having some mental issues, subject themselves to that type of torture and abuse. So that's why I don't believe.
She knew what she was doing.
Tristan, even if you are a kink freak, even if you love that stuff,
it's just that. I think she was just benefiting from the lifestyle.
But even if you were benefiting, don't you think there's got to be something a little bit more for you to want to continue to be benefit when somebody's shoving your head into a wall?
I don't see the benefit in having mouth sores and multiple UTIs that were now not even being couldn't even be treated with medication.
Yeah,
there's no amount of what you could buy me that will allow me to sit there with my coot burning off. Sores in my mouth, or multiple men coming on me and then you wiping the cum off of me.
There's not enough. There's not enough private jets. There's not enough hotels. There's not enough escargot. There's not enough cars and things that you can buy me for me to willingly allow you to smash my mouth in and slam me and kick me into something. I don't care what I'm benefiting from. And anybody who says otherwise than that, why would somebody, what is my kink to being drugged up and dragged? Like what benefits does that give me? Even when she decided that she wanted to date Kid Cudi, she got away with him long enough to date Kid Cudi. He then proceeded to not only stalk and threaten Kid Cudi,
blew up his car,
but he blew up his car. You trying to tell me that I was like, okay, you blow up. Kid Cudi could give her those things too. So if she went to try to have a relationship with Kid Cudi and this man is stalking her, coming to get her, sending her bodyguards after her, what makes y'all think that she wanted to be kicked in the head for a car?
I don't know.
Confused.
It's. I think like it's early, very early in this trial. This trial is set to go 6 to 8 weeks. It's a lot of the stuff that we've heard so far has just been so like awful, right? It's wretched, and so I don't know. I can't imagine that we would like what else we are going to hear about what went on here.
I think it's going to get worse before it even gets a little bit good.
Is it going to get good? I don't think it's going to get good.
I don't know. Oh, and today is cross-examination, right?
So she will be cross-examining. I think this is going to be very, very hard.
They've already started too. So we got some updates. So we'll get into that tomorrow because we're a half an hour over the time that we got to go. Everybody come back with your plan. Maybe we'll switch the things tomorrow because I don't think we don't have no interview tomorrow.
Nope, we don't.
So we'll switch the order. We'll go from entertainment into local news so that we can have some good time to talk about things.
Yes.
All right. With that said, people, we are going to be see you guys later. Have a great day. Be blessed and free Tory Lanez.
No.
Okay. Bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
What is this, Doctor? This is the Spark of New England, Spark FM. Little boy, how we looking?